HBs.
Hi.
Oh, okay. We're popping into your feed because we have some big, giant news, and we're very excited about it. Do you want to tell them?
Excited?
Nervous?
All of the above?
Yeah.
Of course I do. I would love the honor.
Yeah.
Listener, we're joining a network.
Yeah.
A network approached us, and we talked about it and said yes, obviously, which is why we're here.
Yeah. That's why we're here. So, sometimes joining a network doesn't really disrupt much, but our network has made some suggestions, and we feel like including those suggestions is a really good idea, and it gives us an opportunity to revamp Patreon a bit. And so we're going to fold it all into one and let you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons we're really, really excited about this is because it's a big opportunity to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Your word of mouth has always been amazing, and that is always the best way for podcasts to grow. But having a network to lean on is also really, really helpful. It's a little bit more support.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other reason, one of the biggest changes that you're going to experience is that there will now be ad breaks in episodes. And that means that we're diversifying our income streams a little bit. One of the biggest things I learned from Katie, you got to diversify your income streams. You can't let one thing be in charge of your livelihood.
I saw her posts about all of that. It was fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the main reasons she's hybrid. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, it's another income stream that will help the show. And so here's the other big change. The network was like, gosh, you're loquacious. Wow. What an impressive amount of content
What a chatty bunch of peeps.
Wow, they said to us. And so they suggested that we break up the episodes into 2 parts because a lot of times new listeners will look at 2 hours and get scared and not click because of it. And so we were talking to each other and we were like, one of the biggest things that we love about the podcast, one of the biggest things we love about doing this show is sharing books and doing spotlights on authors who might not otherwise get a bunch of press.
So the thought of splitting up every episode into 2 episodes means that we can only really do 26 a year, and we weren't interested in that if we did it once a week like we do now.
Yeah.
It's also a long time between books. There's a reason we don't split up books very often. It is very uncommon. Well, I mean, we're not talking about that time where we did 3 2-parters in a row.
Shush, beautiful tropical fish.
So what we're going to do now is split up our episodes into 2 parts, but they're going to come out Monday and Tuesday of every week, which means we're actually going to be hitting 52 books a year, which is exciting.
That's the goal, right? Yeah.
It gives us an opportunity to highlight a lot of authors, like those big name popular, everyone hears about them books, 5-star recs, but also the books we're excited about sharing that people haven't heard about a whole lot.
Absolutely.
There's just so much more room.
Yeah. And giving us the opportunity to be more inclusive with queer and BIPOC books. That's really important to us too. So yeah, putting ourselves in a situation where we would, at best, be able to share 26 books a year. But with guest episodes, with movie episodes, with all the business, it might actually be 16 books a year. And that felt bananas to us. So yeah. You're still going to get all of the content in 1 week, but they'll come out Monday and Tuesday. Now, because we are doing it this way where you're not only going to get ads and the content is split up, we decided that we are going to add that as a Patreon benefit. And as a result, Sabrina had the amazing idea to do mix and match kind of tiers on Patreon, a more grab what you want model.
Yeah, mostly because I am very vocal about this if you ever get me on the topic, but I fucking hate a subscription service that's like you have to pay $20 a month for all of these things.
Yeah,
And I only want one of those things. Like I would happily pay $10 a month for that one thing,
sure.
but
Sure.
I'm not paying $20 for the other four that's on there.
Right.
So, because of that, what we're doing is basically if you're already on Patreon, nothing is changing for you. Okay. So, what that means is if you are already on Patreon, you are essentially getting grandfathered in
Mhm.
with all of these changes, whatever you're at right now, or for the next 2 days,
Yeah,
like
probably.
something
Sure.
like that. The actual date, like end date for this, is going to be in the show notes.
Yes.
But whatever you are at that time and date, you get ad-free and same-day episode added on immediately. Like, you don't have to worry
Mhm.
about it. From there on, we're modifying the tiers a little bit, right?
Yeah, there are gonna be 3 different $5 tiers.
Mm-hmm. So, one option is going to be ad-free and episode all in one day.
Yeah.
Second tier is going to be all of the extra bonus content that we
The
create.
4 bonus episodes a month plus, because it's also going to include, if it's on Patreon, it's also going to include like playbacks of our hangs on video and things like that.
This is what the $5 tier is
Now.
right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Then the last one is going to be $5 tier for live hangs. You get to come hang out with us for movies. You get to come hang out with us for author hangs, yada
Yeah,
yada.
if you don't care about the rest of the stuff and all you wanna do is come to live hangs, that is the tier for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got 3 $10 tiers, and that's gonna
Hmm.
be a combination of 2 of those interchanged. So, like, you can look at it on Patreon and figure it out.
Literally, it is now the $5 tiers. You just add them all together. So if you only want 2 of those things, there's going to be a $10 tier for it.
Yes.
And then similarly, $15 tier is essentially turning into all 3 of those things.
Right.
$15 tier. It's literally look at the $5 tiers and then add $5 together until you get everything
Yeah.
that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So those are the changes on Patreon, and we're really excited about this. Yeah.
One other last little thing for Patreon.
Tell
We
us
are adding
everything.
a $2 tier,
Yeah!
which is Discord access.
Yes.
So if you just want to come hang out with us on Discord, we get into some fun little shenanigans.
Yeah, it's like we have a micro cult.
Mhm.
Discord
Mhm.
is like the micro cult where we hang out all the time. So that's like $2 a month, I think, would be
Mhm.
Discord access. And we just want to make that as accessible as possible to everyone.
Mhm. By the way, I just realized we this is very on brand for us, but the podcast network that we're joining is BLEAV Podcast Network.
Yeah.
So
And it might seem like a weird choice because they started as a sports ball network almost exclusively.
round and flat sports balls.
Yeah, any sports ball. They would talk about it on there. They would have a show that covered it. So obviously, like, not our niche, but we really liked the people that we would be working with. And we're one of the first phases of bringing in other types of podcasts. So true crime podcasts and comedy podcasts, books, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're stoked.
We're excited. We'd love to hear thoughts.
Okay. Ooh!
Keep being a badass.
And love yourself as much as you love getting 2 episodes of Heaving Bosoms a week. This is what I'm going to say.
All right. I was going to say, I have nothing. I don't know why I said keep being a badass like I had something I was going to say next.
Yeah, love yourself as much as you love naming your community after boners and beavers and horny toads. Because that's what we made our job.
Yep.
Is what we did.
Very professional. Bye.
Bye.